In 1912, the author Edgar Rice Burroughs needed a way for his fictional great apes to communicate. He invented Mangani, a guttural, spoken language designed to bring the jungle of the Tarzan novels to life. Flashback 3 centuries to 1582. The English occultist John Dee records Enochian, a rigid, highly structured script he claimed was dictated directly by angels. Suppose we tried to build a bilingual dictionary connecting these two systems. On one side, the earthly jungle tongue. On the other, the divine cosmic script. We hit an immediate roadblock. Neither of these languages evolved naturally, and neither has a native speaker. To map them together, we have to reverse engineer their hidden linguistic rulebooks from scratch. Attempting this impossible translation forces us to dissect the mechanics of how humans construct imaginary languages. If we look for a Mangani grammar manual, we won't find one. The entire corpus consists of scattered war fragments and ad hoc phrases sprinkled throughout mass-market adventure novels. Enochian, meanwhile, is strictly confined to two rigid 16th-century magical texts, the Liber Loagath and the Angelica Keys. Dee recorded his angelic script as a set of precise instructions for ritual invocations. The words were meant to be chanted exactly as written. Burroughs, however, used his ape language loosely as a descriptive plot device to add flavor to a scene. You cannot directly align a casual storytelling tool with a static ceremonial artifact. The source materials resist comparison from the start. Mangani builds meaning through primitive compounding. It takes roots, am, buang, and gash, stacking them to form am buang gash for sword. But the grammar stops there. It has no inflection and no tense. It relies entirely on gestures and immediate context to make a point. Enochian presents a completely different surface. It is packed with dense, seemingly unpronounceable consonant clusters that look entirely alien to the human eye. Yet this sentence tree reveals Enochian's actual underlying structure. The phrase "all sanf vorsag" maps perfectly onto "I reign over you," a strict subject-verb-object syntax. The underlying English grammatical skeleton supports the Enochian vocabulary, marking the language as a product of John Dee's native tongue. Attempting to force an inflectionless, gesture-based beast language into the rigid, syntactical mold of a 16th-century English clone results in a total structural collapse. Mangani's semantic map shows a vocabulary built exclusively for the jungle. Words like pneuma and argo cluster around physical survival. Conversely, Enochian's map is entirely spiritual. Its cosmic lexicon, like ROR and VEP, never intersects with Mangani. Enochian has no beasts, and Mangani lacks divine purification. The dictionary experiment fails because the two vocabularies occupy separate, non-overlapping conceptual realities. To bridge these systems, English acts as an artificial pivot point. The concept sun connects left to the Mangani word kudu and right to the Enochian word roar. Below, fire branches left to argo and right to veep. English is the only common denominator. This pivot exposes the reality of both creations. These languages are inextricably tethered to the English-speaking minds that invented them. Mangani's rugged, immediate vocabulary perfectly reflects author Edgar Rice Burroughs' 20th-century fantasy of a primal, completely untamed wilderness. Enochian's symmetrical syntax perfectly reflects John Dee's 16th-century occultism, driven by a deep, unwavering desire for divine, mathematical order. Mapping these two systems reveals a bridge between two distinct eras of human imagination, showing how both are products of the specific cultural desires and individual biases of their creators.